Nobody's perfect. Yeah, that includes you. In this video, I want to summarize the big changes to Ford's electric vehicle plans and other electrified powertrains. Of the Detroit 2.5, Ford got an early lead on electric vehicles, and initially, things were looking pretty damn good. The Mach-E was Mustang inspired. I refuse to call it a, well, yeah, you know. The F-150 Lightning launched to much higher than anticipated demand, so much so that Ford was able to raise pricing. 2022 was peak EV in America. Gas prices were up. Automakers were making huge promises about when they will go all electric. And Elon was desperately trying to get out of buying Twitter. You should have just paid the $1 billion to get out. Around this time, Ford internally approved plans to increase capacity of the Lightning and Mach-E, with that extra capacity coming online in 2023. This was their first mistake. Had they kept to their original modest production plans, things would have been fine. And adding plans not for one, not two, not three, but 4 battery plants. A new scalable truck platform is also being developed, the T3, but reports put that in more of the full-size truck category, so not necessarily cheap. The 3 battery plants announced in partnership with SK On would make nickel manganese cobalt batteries, or NMC, which are the more popular chemistry amongst Western automakers, but it's more expensive than lithium iron phosphate, or LFP. I'll talk more about that 4th battery plant later. To be clear, EV sales are still growing. More EVs will be sold in 2024 than last year, but the rate of growth has slowed, just as more capacity comes online and much more competitors launch their EVs. And yeah, Tesla slashed prices to keep their sales of their current cars from falling too low. It's a tough market right now. The days of raising prices are long gone. Automakers need to adjust to a new reality and be careful how they spend their money. So now let's take a look at Ford's revised plans. CEO Jim Farley has been saying for a while that America needs to get back in love with smaller cars, which is absolutely true, but that's not something you can say as a CEO. You just can't tell customers what to drive. You need to give them a better option. Look at the Ford Maverick. Ford didn't force people to buy it. They made a smaller pickup that's less expensive and gets better fuel economy. And guess what? People are buying it. It's been a sales success. In this latest announcement, I'll say the best first, not save it for last. During the EV frenzy of 2022, Ford did a good thing. Yeah, maybe it turns out to be the best decision they've made since the Model T. They established a Skunkworks team in California to avoid the constraints from legacy operations and take a brand new approach to electric vehicles. By their account, it is a cross-functional activity beyond just engineering. I keep hearing that the number of people working on this is still very small, relatively speaking, but it's growing, and they probably have a blank check from the boss to make sure this happens. And now we know the first EV off this affordable, radical platform will be a mid-size pickup coming in 2027. I'd rather Ford underpromise and overdeliver, but 2027, that's a long, long time from now. Hell, Tesla could finally deliver full self-driving by then. Wow, that's another Elon dig in the same video. In China, this whole program would take like 18 months, so it would be in showrooms by now. Ford's groundbreaking all-new truck platform T3 is still a go for 2027. And it's not even early 2027. Now they're saying the second half of the year, late 2027. That hurts, but Jim warned us, bigger is not better when it comes to EVs. Bigger is just bigger, more expensive, bigger batteries, worse aero. The question I have, will the mid-size Skunkworks truck be built alongside the T3 at their new plant? Or will the T3 get revised to incorporate manufacturing and design ideas from the Skunkworks? The two announcements just seem too close together in timing not to be related. Ford did not say where the mid-size Skunkworks trucks would be assembled, And BlueOval City is the only all-new Ford plant in North America being built. What do you think? And if you've heard any good rumors, feel free to share. Ford has canceled plans for an electric three-row SUV. That was going to be assembled in Canada, but they've already announced revised plans to build big, profitable Super Duty pickups there. That raised the question about where the electric three rows would be built, and now we know. Ford confirmed that they will enhance their current lineup of three-row SUVs with hybrid technologies, which is a good step towards reducing fuel consumption. Hybrid technology will also find their way into pickups, including the Super Duty trucks, per the announcement. They all need to catch up with Toyota on hybrid powertrains. In Ohio, Ford will assemble an electric commercial van. Some of these details leaked out during the UAW negotiations. The E-Transit has been a big success for Ford. It's assembled in Kansas City alongside the gas-powered vans. Timing is 2026 model year, so this could be a replacement for the E-Transit built on a more cost-effective next-generation platform. Modern EV platforms are scalable, so it could produce a variety of sized vans, from a mid-sized Transit Connect to a Transit replacement and cutaway models. Avon Lake is a few hours up the road from the two BlueOval SK battery plants being finished in Kentucky. Kentucky 1 will start production in mid-2025 with batteries going into the E-Transit and Lightning. In other news, LG Energy will start building batteries for the Mach-E out of their expanded Michigan plant in 2025. That should, according to Ford, allow them to qualify for the IRS tax benefit in the US. Currently, they come in from Poland. I actually didn't know that. That should also help a lot with logistics costs, too. Another bold move by Ford that I keep an eye on is their plant in Marshall, Michigan. It's a Ford plant, but the headlines remind us that the batteries to be manufactured there are licensed from CATL, the world's largest battery supplier, and yes, they're from China. Ford confirmed that they're on track to begin production in 2026. I find this plan fascinating because Chinese automakers benefited from the joint ventures they formed with the West, learning from them how to make better cars. I feel that licensing CATL's low-cost LFP battery design, Ford can learn from, arguably the best battery maker in the world. There have been a lot of bumps along the way, but they keep managing to move this project forward, and I'm glad. That was quite the press release. No pictures, but lots of meaningful changes. Do you think this puts Ford back on track? Tell me what you think. All these changes are not for free. Cancellations and delays could add up to nearly $2 billion. Not an easy decision, but in my opinion, it's better than marching forward with a product and manufacturing plan that you know is not going to meet the expectations of the customer. Better wear a diaper because the auto industry is undergoing a scary transition.